All right. Hello, everybody. Look, I know you all know that face on the screen with me. That's Ryan Leach of Food with Strength. And we are here with some special treats today. I'm going to turn it over real quick, but one thing I just want to say is some upcoming events that we've got going on or things that you should be looking out for with Going Beyond the Pink. So we've got another Food with Strength live nutrition live stream in November on the 18th. That's another Thursday. We have Pink Friday coming up again. If y'all remember, before COVID, we did our fun Pink Friday shopping event. That's our take on Black Friday, right? It's the week after. So December 3rd is Pink Friday. Make sure you're getting on our shopping group page and checking out our website for more details as those come out. If you are a vendor or crafter of any kind and you want to participate, make sure to reach out to me. You can just email me at kara@goingbeyondthepink.org and I'll be happy to get you all set up for that. And just stay tuned because as always, we've got lots of great content coming at you. That's all I've got to share tonight. Ryan, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm so excited to see what we're doing tonight.
Oh yeah, so this is going to be a little bit different. So we've reached out to Kara. Let me back up. My name's Ryan. I'm one of the owners and dietitians at Food with Strength. You can see us at foodwithstrength.com. You can also see us on Facebook at Food with Strength. If you ever have any questions, whether it's nutrition related or some ideas about recipes that maybe you had some questions or anything like that, just go ahead over to foodwithstrength.com. Go to the contact us page and just send us a message that we're happy to answer your questions. In fact, we met somebody randomly walking into a restaurant the other day, and they asked us some questions and immediately emailed us the next day, and we've been helping them get through a lot of different things that they wanted to do. So don't feel free, like they're not a client or anything. They just had questions. We're happy to help them out. And that's all part of what we're doing with Going Beyond the Peak, coming to give back to everybody around here. But as far as what we're doing today, when we're looking at it, Susannah, my wife, she's not here right now. She'll probably be sitting here or here. She's feeding our youngest, August, right now. But when we were talking about what we're going to do today for October for us is kind of the kickoff to the holiday season. So especially this weekend upcoming. So Halloween starts here. And then a month from now, you have Thanksgiving. And then a month after that, you have Christmas. And then a week after that, you have New Year's. And then a month after that, you have Valentine's Day. So you start getting, we used to live in Indiana. And so then we would have like spring, because like the March came and it was like spring happens, like it's not going to snow, maybe one more time. And then, Easter and so on. So like you start running through things there where holidays, people get really freaked out around what am I going to eat and how is this going to affect me going forward. And so people that are attempting to lose weight, so a lot of people in the breast cancer community, you get forced into a semi-menopausal state going through your treatment, and that can last for some amount of time. A lot of people will gain weight during that time, and then post, now you're trying to lose the weight. How do you do that? Like it gets harder the older that we get. And then also when these holidays come up, that makes it a little bit harder to continue to move forward and progress through those goals. But we'll talk a little bit about that tonight, about how you can progress to those goals without having to freak out about the holidays. Like it's okay to take a day off. And so especially coming this weekend. So for us particularly, but especially for me, this weekend means a lot because it's Georgia versus the University of Florida. It's what matters the most for me when it comes to a football season. If we win this one game, then we have a successful season. I don't really care about all the other stuff after, although I do care a little. But mostly, if we lose this game, the season is just a waste. What did we do for the whole year? What was the point of the season? So really going forward, this is the kickoff to all the things. So we have for this weekend, that's a Saturday, and then Halloween's the next day. So that's 2 days in a row. And you may have heard me say this before in a previous talk, but if you have to go 3 days without a habit, if you're trying to start a new habit, you're working on a habit and maintaining a habit, you go for 3 days, as long as after that third day you get back on it, you're going to be okay. You don't want to go longer than 3 days without trying your habit. If your habit is to work out 4 times a week and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 3 more days where you would not work out for a week, and then you would start again, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 after that. But if it was spread out and you had day 1 was Monday, 2 was Tuesday, 3 was Wednesday, and then you took off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as long as you went back to 4 on Sunday, you'd be okay. Your body would still be saying, this is what I need to do. Your mind would say, this is feeling good. I've accomplished my goal. I'm moving closer and closer to what I want to do. And when it comes to weight maintenance and weight loss, that's also something that your body reacts to. If you weighed yourself inside of a week and you weighed yourself every single day, and you didn't really do anything to change it, one of the things that you would see is that the weight is going to vary between 1 to 4 pounds just inside of that week. Like you, and I'll use myself as the example. I this morning weighed 185.4 pounds, and at the beginning of the week I was 184.7, and somewhere earlier in the week I was 186.3, I think 0.3 or 0.4. It doesn't matter, but either way, I'm not freaking out about it. I know that my weight is probably around 185, and that's based off of my own home scale and the same circumstances when I weigh myself. So you want to be consistent with that. That's where the science comes in of it. But on the other side of it, one of the things that we love, so I'll show you real quick. So if you go over to foodwithstrength.com and you check out our blog, so it looks like this beautiful page right here, all our thoughts on food. You scroll on down. This is what we made today, right here. The best chocolate chip cookie I ever made. So this is what we're making this evening. These are the things. You can see Kara's face. That's the truth right there. So these are all the cookies that we made. This is legit a thing out of a project I had to do for my undergrad. So this is the annoying thing that's there. But either way, recipes all on here. And so we're gonna stop that share. I'm gonna switch over to this. Oh, no, for some reason it's not there. Back.
I've got just you on the screen now.
Let's see. Here we go. Can I share that?
I just have to say, I've been hearing about the best ever chocolate chip cookie for years, and I've not yet tasted it. And that makes me so sad. But now I'll have the recipe.
Yeah, you have the recipe, and at least you'll see it.
I'm so excited.
So, real quick before we do the next thing, this is Susannah.
I love your background.
Boom, I'm all pink all the time.
So good. It's so good. Okay, what am I missing?
We were talking about weight loss, and that if you go a couple of days without following things, it's okay. As long as you get back on your habit on the 4th day.
Yep, you know what? I'm with you. I'm gonna get down mini tires, mini toddler tires and diapers.
All right, so this video has no sound, so I can talk over it. So this I did earlier. These are all the steps leading up to where we're at now. So we'll start here. I like to use a sifter. You don't have to use a sifter. Most current flours are already put together. So if you don't necessarily do, but I like to do it, it's kind of how my great grandmother taught me everything. So when sifting all these flours into the bowl, it starts off with bread flour. And the purpose for the bread flour, pause right there, pause, back up. All right, so you see this best if used by date, June 25th, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
I realize that it's October and it's 3 months past that. Most flours are going to be 2022. Best by June 15th, 2022.
It's only 2021.
Yeah, I know. But even if it was 2021, what I want to point out here is most flours are the best buy date is there, but they'll be good for 6 to 8 months after that best buy date, best if used by date.
Okay.
Unless it's like whole wheat flour, that one is more like 4 months after the best buy date. But all the other ones you'd be okay. So if you're like looking through your pantry and you're like, I haven't used this flour in forever, as long as it's within 6 months of the best buy date, you'll be okay. So a lot of people will freak out when they see this. It's not necessarily expired.
Why bread flour?
So, right, so bread flour right here, more moist. It's gonna make it chewier. The higher bit of protein that's in the bread flour is gonna help retain some of the moisture. And then this recipe calls for half of a cup of bread flour. And then I can't speed up a little bit here. Let's go a little bit faster. Can I go faster than that? Oh, super fast. There we go. And then pause. And then this is our all-purpose flour. This uses 1 cup. You're going to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour here. And then move that out of the way. So what we like to do, this is Sue's family does this, and they like to put this in a long, I don't know, container to store it. So it makes it easier for scooping and sorting things out instead of trying to do it all inside the bag. So 2 cups goes into the sifter. So this, you can use a spoon to scoop it into your measuring cup if you needed to. I usually just scoop it up and then knock down the top to make sure that it's even in the cup, and then you can use a straight edge to slide off any extra.
Your technique, man.
Wow.
It's so good.
No. All right, so sift, 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 sift. All right, pause. Cornstarch.
Why cornstarch?
This is pivotal. This is the secret to those soft batch Keebler cookies. Is the cornstarch. That's what makes them all nice and chewy. This is what you want to do.
Chewy.
So chewy, chewy, chewy.
Is that your texture?
Yeah, that's my texture. I was talking over it when I was sitting there.
Using your hands.
Using my hands.
How much cornstarch?
I think it's 2 teaspoons. It's in the recipe. You can see it. foodandstrength.com/blog. Then baking soda. That's a leavening agent to help expand. All right, and then we're going to turn over here. Stand mixer.
The age-old debate: margarine versus butter.
Margarine.
We come down on the line of margarine.
Yeah, and here's the whole thing. Like, people started freaking out like 5 or 6 years ago over margarine. Everything is a chemical. I hate to tell you all, everything is a chemical. Stop freaking out about it. There's margarine right there. Boom.
It's for the texture. It totally is.
For the texture.
We were going for soft and chewy, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely helped.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
All right, so this is something you don't necessarily have to do. It's used generally more in like baking cakes and kind of stuff, but it's like creaming together the sugar. There's brown sugar and white sugar in there, so this is be nice and smooth like that, and the texture in the background when that's appropriately creamed together, the sugar and butter or margarine, depending on what you're using. 1 whole egg. I'll speed it up here because what you're not going to see is that the next thing.
You don't see it.
No, you will see it, but I'm going to start over there. That's creaming in, and then this whole time in the background, what you can't see is that I'm separating an egg because it's 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. Maybe it missed, and it's like in that spit up fashion. But I did also have to like wash my hands in there in the middle. Yep, there it is. 1 egg. Yeah. 1 egg yolk goes in. Speed up a little bit more, and so then spoonful by spoonful. There was vanilla in there. You missed that. I was really spoonful by spoonful. All of this goes in. The dry ingredients, all of the flour that we mixed together before. And then, so there's nice base dough. This is delicious. You could just cook this on its own and it would be amazing. Then, so I prefer to add the chocolate chips here, and Suze prefers to add them and by folding in by hand.
I just don't like the sound that it makes
Yeah.
when it's crunching in the stand mixer.
All right, and so then that's it. That's basically the whole thing.
Do you want me?
All right.
A modern day television.
And so now we come to the part where we are now, which is, see this beautiful dough? Once the dough is made, goes over into the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. I'm going to remove the rings off my finger. So we have our cookie sheet. I like to make them about the size of a ping pong
A
ball,
small ping pong
a
ball.
small ping pong ball.
I think that's pretty big, actually.
Yeah, it seems like it's large.
And it's kind of a dryish dough. It's kind of crumbly. And Ryan really has to like press the cookies together. So like my Toll House cookies growing up for Christmas when I was a little kid were sticky and it got all over your fingers. And
There.
this is not sticky like that. It's kind of dry and
Like that
crumbly.
big. All right, and so then you can fit a lot on here.
Do they expand, Ryan?
Well, do they? I don't think so.
Not a ton,
Look
yeah.
at those beautiful
They
cookies.
don't really like
Wow.
fade out. They are so perfect. They're so
Yeah.
perfect.
So
Hold one up like this. Hold one up like that to the camera. They're like the right thickness
the
this
thickness of the
way.
cookie. That's
Yep.
the total size there.
And you said it's chewy? It's like got a little chew to it?
Oh yeah, it's not. It's like barely crisp.
Definitely chewy. How long did you bake these for?
These are baked for 8 to 10
minutes. Okay, yeah.
I'll let you tell me.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's washing his hands. So we bake them for 8 to 10 minutes, and they are not like they're Tate's. You know the Tate's cookies that are like crispy. That's not these. These are not crispy. These are like really, really soft. And chewy, I don't know, is misleading, but they're just like super soft. They're like really, really soft and not chewy like tough chewy, but chewy like soft chewy. Oh, they're so good.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yum.
We have been talking about making these for a really long time, so we're finally doing it. Did Ryan tell you the story about like how these cookies came into existence?
I've heard it, but yeah, tell everybody.
He's just meticulously tweaked this. It started as a project in college and undergrad, and he had to make his own recipe, which basically meant that he had to, so you sort of started with the base recipe and then adjusted things based on the end product that you were wanting.
Right.
And Ryan wanted like the ultimate soft, chewy cookie.
Mhm.
And so he went for things that were going to produce that. So less granulated sugar, more brown sugar, the bread flour, and not only all-purpose flour. And then the cornstarch. I don't
The
think.
cornstarch
Yeah.
and the egg yolk.
And
Like
the
the
egg
addition-
yolk.
like an additional egg yolk is going to help you retain a little bit more moisture and also create a little bit more chewiness on the texture. And then the original thing though, which was really funny, is I had learned that granulated fructose can produce a really chewy cookie, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
No kidding.
But for the project, because it was in college, they were like, any ingredient you need, we'll get it for you. So I was like, perfect.
So they got you granulated fructose?
So they got me granulated fructose.
Where?
She ordered it from
The
somewhere.
black market.
Maybe, I don't know. Rosemary was a saint. She put up with me.
Yeah.
So,
The lady was the food lab coordinator. She was good friends with Ryan.
yeah, we like to listen to metal together. She's a big Metallica fan.
Awesome.
So,
Yay.
so
And her name was Rosemary.
yeah, she's like,
She was this sweet kind of middle-aged lady with glasses, and she was just so unassuming. And then she'd be like Metallica and Black
Yeah.
Sabbath.
I was like playing some in the background. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can turn it down. She's like, no, turn it
Turn
up.
it up.
Nice.
And they were best friends from then on. But yeah, either way, though, it was always good. So
Anyway,
this
so she ordered
was
you-
meticulous work over 10-year span of adding things here and there to get to this cookie variation. Other people might differ in their opinion and think that you'd rather have like a thin, crispy, cracker-like chocolate chip cookie. That's fine for you, but this is best for me.
Yeah, definitely. So cheers. I think that they're really tasty.
Yeah.
The texture is good and they stay chewy. Like I feel like my chocolate chip cookies before making these with Ryan would be chewy right when they came out of the oven and they were delicious and good. And then after a couple of days, they get dried out and crumbly. But these keep their texture for like a pretty long time.
Yeah, they're pretty good in an airtight container for about a week.
Yeah.
But they won't last a
Much
week.
longer than
You'll eat them all before you get to your week. So either you'll eat them or you'll give them away so that way you don't eat them.
Yes,
That's
exactly. Yeah, find some friends, share them with your friends who are also on a diet break.
Right.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know, if I'm putting it all together, Ryan said you got 3 days, right? So eat
Yeah.
those cookies in 3 days, y'all, and then get back to your habit.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. What?
So this is the whole thing.
This
So
it's okay.
we talked earlier about if you're trying to lose weight, you
Yeah.
want to maintain your weight loss.
Yeah.
Weight loss is a long game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. All of those things that are like the fast fat diets, losing a lot of weight in a short period of time, you're losing a lot of fluid. I forget what the name of the study was or the title of it anyways, but they did this pseudo keto thing and people lost about 14% of their body mass over the time.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a lot. But when they went back and looked at it and they like did the cycles of the data, it was like 12% was water. So they really only lost like 2%. And when they started eating again, they gained all of it back. So like if you're really thinking about losing weight, it works best if you're able to eat what you actually will continue to eat after.
Right.
And so that's
Wait,
kind of,
say that again.
if you're trying to lose weight,
Yeah.
it's best if you can lose weight while eating what you will continue to eat after
Right.
you've lost all your weight.
So lifestyle.
Right. So if you eliminate all of insert food item,
Yeah, that's hard.
then by the time you get to the end and you're like, no, I'm going to eat this again, it's probably not going to work out for you unless you eliminated that food item for a specific health condition. Like if you had kidney disease and you couldn't have chocolate or raisins or something.
So go back to diet breaks really quick because I know that I did miss it. Is there a time frame that is acceptable for taking a break? So like I'm thinking, am I popping out for taking a diet break during the holiday season, or is it actually just a really good strategically timed thing?
Yeah, so it could be a strategically timed thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. So 3 days is the habit.
Right.
You don't want to go longer than 3 days for a habit. But as far as your diet and trying to lose weight, there was a really good study called the Matador study.
Was it out of Spain?
I don't know if it's out of Spain. I don't know if they actually use bulls, but I'm pretty sure they use humans.
Definitely humans. Okay.
But definitely humans. But either way, so what they did in this study, they had 2 separate groups where they both were on a diet restriction for 16 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So group A, 16 weeks straight through. Group B had 16 weeks of restriction, but they did 4 weeks on and they had a week off.
A whole week.
A whole week of just eating at their maintenance calories for their new weight. So earlier I told everybody how much I weigh 185 pounds. So I currently eat around 26 to 2,700 calories a day. That's what I'm eating right now. And if I wanted to lose weight, I would drop that down to like 2,300 or 2,200, somewhere in there. And I could do that for a month. And then if I did that for a month and I lost 5 pounds, I'd be down to 180 pounds. So whatever my new maintenance calories, the calories I needed to consume
To maintain
180 pounds, if I ate that for a whole week, and then I returned to my weight loss and I got to whatever I wanted to be. If I continue to do that pattern and I get to 16 weeks of a diet restriction, by the end of the time, if I had done that versus just try to diet for 16 straight weeks, by taking a break every 4 weeks, I will have maintained more lean muscle mass. I will have lost a greater percentage of body fat, and I will have kept my basal metabolic rate, so like the base thing, would be close to exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
So like I could return to eating 2,600, 2,700 calories and not really have a problem and continue maintaining the weight that I've lost.
Well, like
essentially across that point in time. So you can, like, you work yourself back up to that. But I'm just saying, like, that's an example of like sustainable weight loss. And a lot of people will try to do things like, I need to be restricted for as long as possible. And then it starts, weight loss looks like a staircase.
okay.
So when you're losing weight, you lose weight for a certain amount of time, and then it drops down, right? So you've lost weight, you drop down, but then it just levels off again. You're just not losing any more weight. And really, when we're looking at that and thinking about that, if you want to continue losing weight, you just keep restricting. You get to the point where you would not eat anything, and you probably might be losing weight there, but you're going to be losing muscle mass for sure. And for all of us, everyone out there and everyone over here on this side of things, it doesn't matter who you are, preserving your muscle mass is going to help you live the healthiest life as long as possible, right? So like you need to keep as much of your muscle mass as you can. Inevitably, if you're losing weight, you're going to lose some amount of muscle mass, but really we want to do everything we can to preserve the muscle mass as much as we can.
So like, so the question that I had is, you could think about, if you're really trying to apply this to your life specifically, there are details, right, of calories and all of that, that's details. But a week break is not a bad idea, to take a break where you're just like, I mean, what if it's like a month? What if it's like a month of December?
Right. So let's think about it like this. So
Okay.
we are here moving into the first weekend, or the first weekend of the kickoff of holiday things, right? So if I maintain my weight,
Yeah.
and ate what I needed to maintain my weight, whatever I wanted to eat, as long as I didn't exceed my calories for the next week, and I picked it up and started restricting my calorie intake
Until the week of
until the
Thanksgiving.
week of Thanksgiving,
Okay.
then I could maintain
Uh-huh.
my weight and just eat a maintenance calories for the week of Thanksgiving and the couple of days after Thanksgiving,
And then resume for December.
and then resume for December.
And then the week of Christmas.
And then week of Christmas, so from like the Christmas Eve or Festivus on the 23rd,
Yeah.
until Little Christmas, Feast of the Epiphany in January 6th. If you took off all that time,
Yeah.
you'd still be okay.
Okay.
So
I
and then
live
you,
with this. Like I could get behind
Right?
it,
Like,
you know?
it sort of takes away, this gets into the diet mentality, but it kind of takes away some of like the guilt, right? Like if you just have that as the plan and you're like, this is the plan and it's gonna not be restrictive, and I'm gonna be a little more lenient. Not only you come out of it like mentally and emotionally unscathed too, and also probably weight-wise a little less.
So big.
yeah. So just like the emphasis though, like diet break does not mean eat whatever you want.
It's not a cheat
Right?
week.
It's not like a cheat week where I can just continue, like you will gain weight there. That's not gonna work out.
Right.
But I also want to point out though, also on that week that you're taking a break, your weight might go up like a pound or two, but it's probably just like
Fluid.
replenishing the fluid that you,
Well, it's fluid.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
be like, yeah.
Yeah.
but you're still going to maintain overall across the span of time. You're going to have lost more body fat than if you just try to restrict yourself through everything.
This is setting me up for thinking about like maybe a good holiday conversation is like, what are the basics, right? So once you decide that you're taking a break, focus on the basics. And so maybe we can do that. Well, we can talk about that later, but that's where my mind is naturally going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the same basics. We always talk about this.
Fruits and vegetables.
2 servings of fruit a day, 3 servings of vegetables a day, get half of your grains from something that's a whole grain, get your vitamin D fortified foods in, and that allows you to have all of the things that you want to have.
Right. Right. Anyway, so and we can even like, yeah, anyway. So, okay. So it's not a cop out.
Nope.
Not a cop out.
Nope.
I like it.
Nice,
I
smooth
love
way
it.
to keep losing weight.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think that is right, that it is definitely a longer term gain, because Ryan, I think, was telling me about this study, the people who were doing it for 16 weeks and they're just full tilt for 16 weeks, like over and done with in 16, but the people who had the breaks, it ended up being twice as long,
Yeah,
right?
it was closer to like 32, 34 weeks.
It takes twice as long to actually have that ultimately better and healthier result.
Right. And also those people that took a longer amount of time, one of the things that was good for them is that they actually kept the weight off as opposed to the original group. The original group gained some portion of the weight back. And those people, when they followed up with them like 6 months post-study and a year post-study, the longer group had kept more of the weight off than the short group.
It's crazy.
Well, it seems like they would be instilling those habits a little bit deeper when it's not just kind of that passing momentum of get it done and then move on, which, I'll admit I struggle hard with this just as much as any other breast cancer survivor out there. And, I before meeting you guys, I worked with another nutritionist who got me going on keto, not keto like you see it though in this like fad mainstream stuff, right? It was all leafy greens and healthy fats, and I did really well on it early on, lost a bunch of weight quickly, but it was so hard to maintain because my habits weren't there. And so, I really crashed and burned on that, but in my head it stuck with me like, well, keto works, so what if I just do it like everybody else is doing, and get that fast weight loss? And to be honest, I keep going back and forth. I'm in it, I'm not, I'm all over the place. But the more that I'm listening to you guys, and what really resonates with me that I'm learning so deeply from you guys is it's about that relationship with food. And it's that slow pace and take your time and the mindfulness around what we're eating. That really is sitting heavy. And this most recent time where, I did keto for a few weeks, I started losing weight, but I just kept looking at what I was eating. Like, this is not what I should be putting in my body. And I know better. And so that, those, and I was thinking about this before, you guys have been working with us over a year now, doing these monthly, things. And I hope that others are out there getting these same messages, right? We all kind of come into things stubborn headedly and, we're going to do it this way. But when we're really listening and really paying attention and learning, we learn so much. And I'm so grateful for you guys for really helping to get those messages through with me. And I just know that it's also getting through, in the ethernets, internets, whatever out there as well. Thank you.
The greater expansion of all the breast cancer survivor world.
I love that. Yeah, it's the mindset is something, right? Like, it is just something else completely that people I don't think that it is the first thing that people consider, but it is like it's so important. And dietitians are not immune. Like, I think that Brian falls into no traps. I don't think he falls into any trap. But I was like, I need something that has the same instant gratification as checking in on the scale that isn't the scale. And I haven't figured out what it is yet. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer. And Ryan, of course, was like, come stand in the mirror with me and just say things to yourself that you appreciate about yourself. And I was like, I absolutely am not going to stand next to you and do that. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's like, but like, that's the mindset, right? Like, it's a mindset and a relationship with food. And I think that, yeah, taking it slow and having a diet break, something also about like having appreciation for all of the things that your body does right. It does so many things right for us every single day that we don't ever acknowledge, because the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So, anyway, yeah.
That's that message really resonates well over here, and I'm sure with others out there too. And I think, just also, the mindset, like we're saying, is so, so important, but also that the element of the learning at the same time, right? I think that we're really, those messages, when you're fixing your mindset, the messages about the healthful eating and the learning really start to take root, and that, makes for those long-term habits. And so I just love this, what you're communicating about today. I just love this idea of, it's okay to take a break, and, where that being reasonable is in there and all of it. It's just so smart. Thank you.
Yeah, well, okay to take a break, and as it turns out, actually probably best. Like, it's probably better to take a break than it is to just plow through. And so I don't know, you probably talk to people about it all the time, but I talk to people about it all the time. I'm like, the scale is not going to do what you want it to do. It just isn't. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just not going to do exactly what you want it to do. So anyway, that's my head, when we were talking about this, my head was in like very much in the space of like, I need something that's got that instant gratification of the scale that isn't the scale. So when we figure that out, I'll let you know.
Yeah. What about an outfit? Like, what's your go-to, I look gorgeous in this outfit, and keep picking one to get toward that goal, and like try that outfit on and just be like, yep, fits even better.
Exactly. Yes, no, that's a perfect idea. Like, that's a really good idea. Picking something else that gives you that immediate gratification of feeling really good. Like, okay, that you've got like this wardrobe or this particular blouse that.
Can I say something about you specifically?
Oh no.
So as
his eyes got like
as we
big.
mentioned, sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot, but Susannah was recently pregnant and she had a baby.
Yeah.
And so that baby is 8 months old today. And when Sue's have lost enough of the baby weight to move from maternity to regular jeans, super excited.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God, I'm out of the maternity jeans. I can actually close the pin on the regular jeans.
And I don't have to use the safety pin.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay!
So that wasn't anytime recent.
That was not instant gratification though. That felt like it took forever. That felt like it took forever to get through. So.
But either way, so I mean, like, it's the same for people that are pregnant as it is for people that are trying to lose weight anywhere. Like, if you are doing the work and working the plan to get to your goal, you can get there. But it's going to be best if you go the annoying route, which is slowly and patiently working towards
the appreciative route.
Yeah.
As opposed to annoying. It's not annoying.
Well, I just say that it's annoying because I feel like a lot of people want it to be quick, and it's just it doesn't work that way.
Well, we live in like fast-paced world. Yeah.
Well, and I think, I think there really are a lot of similarities between, pregnancy weight and this weight that cancer patients are dealing with in certain ways, because, treatment, it's a year of treatment, right? That's changing your body and changing everything about you. And, a cancer patient at the end of treatment wants to get back to normal as fast as possible. And we all eventually learn that normal doesn't exist anymore. And I hate the new normal terms, but I mean, let's face it, life is different after, right? And just like with a pregnancy and a baby, right? It takes a long time for your body to get to that point. It's what you were saying earlier, Suze, about, appreciate all the other things that our bodies are doing, right? Not just the squeaky wheel, but you made a baby, we survived cancer.
Yes, your body survived cancer. Yeah, exactly.
These are huge things. These are, really big deals. And we have to learn to be patient and, take that time. And that's really, a lot of similarities, really great information.
Yeah.
So either way, you can have your break and you can have your cookie too. So
Yay. Yay, I love it.
Next month, I think we're talking about some side dishes for Thanksgiving. I know it's on the 18th, but I'll remind everybody that if you have a big turkey, it takes a long time to thaw. So if you have a massive group of people that you're preparing your turkey for, you might start thawing your turkey out on the 18th. I don't know.
Yes.
So-
Maybe.
So
Or, I
your
mean,
planning stages should probably start for Thanksgiving around the 18th or 20th if you're starting to really hone in on
Start
Thanksgiving.
getting that plan.
maybe Thanksgiving will be like a small intimate thing for a lot of people this year. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh well.
I can tell you. Nobody
Either way, we're all gonna eat really well.
Yeah, we need some fabulous side dishes. So, okay, good. Good. And probably
Awesome.
because we'll be taking a break. The diet. It'll be a break.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for coming back again. I'll just shout back out to everyone out there. Check out Food with Strength. I know you're excited to see them here every month, but they are just chock full of knowledge and are so incredibly helpful. And we know and love them so much. So go to their website. It's a beautiful website, by the way, but check out all the goodies on there. Check out those blogs. Make sure you get this recipe off of that blog because it's obviously like a must try kind of thing here. And we'll see y'all back here next month.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thanks so much. I'm also just going to add in that having technical difficulties, so I'm just going to have to straight up end.
Okay. Bye.
We'll see you later. Bye.